Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. So we're going to talk about the difference between obsession and rumination. Obsession is intrusive thoughts that really do affect your life. Same with rumination. And there are ways to minimize, try to stop rumination because it can take over our lives sometimes, or it can at least hinder our growth. So obsession, you can be obsessed about being clean. You can obsess about making money. You can obsess about people sometimes. So where is this fine line? Obsession is intrusive thoughts, a compulsion, but rumination is very similar. However, it's usually something where you're trying to solve a problem. You're going over, what could I have done differently? How can I correct this? As opposed to an obsession where it's just, you have to do it. It's like a fine line, but rumination are thoughts that pop in our head. A lot of times with obsession, it is just ongoing. And with rumination, there are these thoughts that pop into our head and we go over them over and over again. And it starts to affect our lives. There's an emotion tied to it. And the more we delve into the emotions, the more it almost like fuels the fire. So when these thoughts come in our head, we have to start accepting what happened. And you can't change the past. The future, you just have to let unfold. Do your best on being a good person, being who you are, watching out for red flags. The future will unfold for you. But we're heartbroken and we're trying to see what we did wrong and how we could have fixed it. And we go over these thoughts over and over again. So it can't be changed. What happened, happened. And you can take the healthy part out of it. Like, did I yell too much? Should I have done this different? Should I have been more patient? Things like that. But if you are in a narcissistic relationship, often the abuse comes like from out of nowhere, and it's these thoughts that are in the narcissist's head. Just like when we're going through our rumination, sometimes people are like, what is going on? Like, why are you so depressed today? Or why are you so anxious? It's things that are going on inside of us. So our narcissist has things too that are going on inside their head, thoughts that pop in, those narc injuries where we don't even know what happened. They don't communicate the right way. And this is where it gets difficult, is because we try to communicate, but the narcissists, they don't do that. And we're left in the dark, and it causes a lot of rumination when you're in these relationships, after the relationship, trying to figure everything out. So as we are trying to figure things out, it's constantly in our mind, and it's building up that trauma bond. So it caused a trauma bond when we were in the relationship. If you're out of the relationship, it's kind of natural to go through that, because we feel like we were blindsided, and we feel like a guilt, like, if only I had done this, like, why did it fall apart? Because I thought it was okay. And um the pain that we go through, because we invested so much. We invested so much more because of our thoughts, because of our confusion, because of us trying to figure things out. So we were 1,000 times invested, but the narcissist wasn't. They basically, we spoon fed them everything. We spoon fed them our thoughts. We spoon fed them our time. We went above and beyond, and it was taken for granted. It's really interesting how when somebody has everything, they don't appreciate it. And our narcissist had everything. They had the love, they had the willingness. We're people too, and we can't feel guilty for being who we are. That when we're hurt, we try to express it. Um, we want to be respected. We want to be appreciated. There's nothing wrong with wanting and needing that. It's a basic human need to be loved. And obsession is like an overpowering thing. It's something that you experience. It's not something you necessarily do. And rumination is something that we allow to increase by giving into those thoughts. Um, it's problem solving. It's problem solving, but the problem is already like said and done. Just like, if somehow you accidentally killed somebody and you're like, why should I have turned? Did I have my signal on? Why did I go out in those weather conditions? And we're going on and on and on. It's not going to change a thing. So we have to deal with what happened. The destruction of a relationship or an accident that we caused or whatever it is. When you're searching for answers that are unsolvable, uncorrectable, it'll start damaging your mental health if you keep going over and over and over. They say, what is it? Insanity is doing the same thing, hoping for a different outcome. So we're hoping for a different outcome. This magical answer is going to come. And I kind of relate it to faith. Whatever faith you have, you can go and you can try to get like that succinct answer. Is everything I believe exactly true? There comes a time where you have to just believe. You just have to believe, and you have to accept, and you have to kind of make it your lifestyle change, I guess. Same with when we're healing from uh, our abuser, that we have to come to a point where we let our faith, in a sense, take over, where we're like, okay, we did everything we could. I know that. We have to have faith in that. We have to have faith that we're a good person. Just because somebody took away their love for us that we thought loved us doesn't mean that we're not lovable. So we have to build ourselves back up. And we can't fall into that trap where our worth is from somebody else, that we have to believe our worth. And it's kind of hard sometimes because you see like designer jeans. Everybody picks some special brand, and that's the one that has the worth because that's what other people say has worth. Levi's are the same as whatever. For the most part, there are some variations, but a $20 pair of jeans versus a $2,000 pair of jeans, there's not that much difference. But because of a brand, like society thinks something's worth something. We can't let society tell us what we're worth. We have to know our worth, and it'll lead to a happier life. Just like the jeans in my closet right now, they have worth. I can wear them and they cover me up. They look nice, and I have to believe in the worth, as opposed to finding worth in labels. If somebody labels me pretty or intelligent or whatever they're going to label me, if you don't think I'm smart, that doesn't mean that I'm not. I have to have faith in my abilities. If I feel I'm lacking in something, then I have to take the power to learn more or to do whatever I can to be the best me that I can be. So in our healing process, we have to start controlling our thoughts, because we can do that. There are times we have to cry. There are times we have to get a little extra sleep. The more we take care of our body, it helps heal our mind. The more we take care of our surroundings, our cleanliness of our body, of our house, the more organized we are, the less stress we're going to have. And the more there's brain chemistry changes that go on when you're generous to people. So keep being generous, keep loving your friends and your family, and invest in the people that are going to invest back. because sometimes we have to find that balance. We can't just give and give and give and not get back. And I noticed with my second one, I it was a bad setup to where I was like always organizing, like when are we going to talk to each other? When are we going to do this or whatever? And so I didn't back off enough to let him reach out to me more, which made me crave him reaching out more. So I tried to set up him reaching out more. Sometimes if you just back off, that it happens. And if it doesn't happen, we have to accept that the person isn't as invested. But moving forward, we have to not be clingy. It's such a tough balance on dealing with our needs, and that's why good communication is important, to where you set up what is acceptable in a relationship and something that's not, because narcissists love to ghost. So you invest in someone and then they ghost you for no apparent reason, and that can be hurtful, but try not to ruminate so much, because you're just being you, and there's nothing wrong with that. When you try to communicate with someone and they're not willing to communicate or to compromise, the hardest part with narcissists, though, is they do all that future faking and they promise certain things, and your reality is destroyed and skewed and confusing, because you trusted this person with your heart and they took advantage of that. And if somebody truly loves you, it's not for self-serving needs. It's because they love you. And when two people love each other back, the cups are full. It's an even exchange of love, even exchange of time, or close to it. But when that balance starts going off, we need in the future to not get too clingy, and to realize, you know, are we really loved? Are we investing in the right thing? And if we can back off, sometimes we can see it better. And it's a hard reality, and it gets scary. And some of us don't want to admit that we're just not being loved the right way, because I see it all over the place. People are just with people. People aren't necessarily with who they love. And I have been single for a while. I'd rather be single than be with somebody who's not meant for me. And it gets lonely sometimes. It's good to hang out with people. I'm not going to invest physically in somebody I'm not in love with. But sometimes people confuse sex for love. And if somebody really wants to be with you, they'll be with you. So take the time to kind of go over some things like, should I have done this or that? And take that as a learning experience. But realize, just like if it was a car accident, it happened. You can't change it. And trust in the future. Just trust in the future. Some of you want your narcissist to change. If they're going to change, they're not going to change with you asking them to change. You just have to let life unfold. And if it's a toxic person, it's not healthy to be with them anyways. It's not healthy to long for an abuser. So please like and subscribe, share this with somebody who it might help. Comment below on any topic requests. I'd love to answer some questions for you. Have a good night.